On August 20th, 2024, Rutgers Police arrested a New Jersey firefighter for DUI in their station parking lot.
He came on, and he just went through, and the car in front of me.
Is this vehicle?
Were you behind me?
Well, if she has information that would be valuable
Were you behind me when we're driving? No, you just saw him tailgating? Okay.
105 from Century, you go for Charlie Port.
No, I just want to talk to you and see what you saw. Thank you.
Receive 103.
Why are you slamming on your brakes? And he came out yelling. Because that's all I want to know. I want to know why are you slamming on your brakes?
You understand the response. It's not
It's also squeezing in, going all over the things, and like, I don't understand why you're doing that if it's not even that big.
Central 103 driving.
Continue to. That way,
Receive 103, arriving.
can you see if, at minimum, she can get the plate and see if she can go on the street regarding what happened? My understanding.
No, don't pull her over. Just get the plate off of that white BMW that's taking over left.
She's not about. Hey, she's in. She might just be witness. to
Just
it.
for information.
Yeah, don't pull her over to see if you can have the plate.
Lieutenant?
Yes. Hey,
Michael Schultz.
hey, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come on, let's talk about
Yeah.
Come on.
I was getting off the exit off of 18. I was getting onto 18. What's that road called?
You were pulling on to 18.
Yes. What's the service road? Off of George Street? No. 27. What's that called? You make the right and you go on to the service road, and then the 18 emerges. 18 merges on, and there's a service road there.
So you're saying 27? You were traveling
I was on
Somerset to New
27
Okay.
in New Brunswick. I made the right before I went to Highland Park, and I turned onto the service road. And I was going up, and then 18 merges on.
Okay. Johnson, Johnson Drive? Because if you continue on Johnson Drive, that turns into George Street, a block further.
It's a service road. What's the service road that's like, you have 18, and then service road along the side? What's that called? Is there a name for that?
Yeah, I'm not certain.
Yeah, I don't even know.
We can look at it, like I said, I have your information, so we can look at a map, and then I can determine exactly what road that was.
Anyway, all that happened was this. I turned on, and there was a car in front of me and a car behind me. And we were going 25, 30 miles an hour, and he just came flying through.
Who is it?
The Rutgers Police officer.
Okay.
And right in front of us, the car in front of me. The car in front of me slammed on his brakes. I slammed on my brakes. The car behind me slammed on my brakes. I could hear all the tires screeching, and no one was going fast. And he went, car in front of me turned right at the next turn, and he just slammed on his brakes and made a right. And then I followed him, and then I followed him right into here because he was flying through. And I want to know, with no lights on, why is he flying around? And that's why I wanted to talk to him and be like, what are you doing right now? What is the urgency right now in order to do that?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. That's all I want to know.
Okay.
That's all I want.
What I can tell you is, I don't know if you've seen or watched cop procedurals, or if you've scoured YouTube, and you're worried that a lieutenant or a sergeant from other agencies hadn't taken similar situations or complaints seriously. That's not the case here. So I want you to feel comfortable.
Okay.
If one of my officers, sergeants, any subordinate for that matter, was operating outside of our established policies and procedures, that's something that we obviously review, and that's something that a again, that's obviously a concern that we take seriously. So I don't want you to feel. I don't want you to feel.
I just
like
want to know
we're
what's up,
downplaying
man.
anything.
That's like,
In order for me to,
he was driving a little aggressively for me, and that's all I thought.
Well, the reason,
and I just want to know, like, what's going on that you're going to drive like that. That's all. That's all I want to know. I wasn't trying to cause a problem. I wasn't trying to cause all this. That wasn't my point.
No, this is not all. You should understand this.
No, I just wanted to know what was going on, man. And he walked away. As soon as you guys pulled up, he walked away.
Well, you'd have to understand. The only information I have thus far is what you're providing me. I don't even know which officer was involved at this moment.
Yeah.
So the only information I have would be that which you provide.
I just want to have a conversation with him.
Okay.
Obviously, if this is more than that, then I don't really care.
No.
Are you guys code 4, Sally?
Well, what I was explaining before, if you just want to have a conversation with the officer and your goal here is to discuss this matter, gain a better perspective regarding why he operated the vehicle in the manner you observed, that's perfectly fine. If you want to take this one step further and you'd like to file a complaint, that's not something that we dismiss.
I just want to have a conversation.
No, and again,
I just want to know what the fuck is going on, man.
Sure.
And I don't mean to be rude and curse. I watched it happen in front of me, and I was like, whoa. And I watched him do it, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And you know what? I get it. I get it. Things happen. I get it. I get it.
Now, how you're handling this, I actually greatly appreciate it. If you think, and like I said before, I just wanted you to understand that what you've seen, or if you saw stuff on YouTube, or you've experienced, you had negative experience with other law enforcement agencies regarding
situations. I work for the fire department here in town.
Okay.
I work for the firefighter. I just saw something, and I was just.
No, and I think you can tell in how we're responding.
Yeah, man.
We take it seriously.
Yeah, dude. This is not what I was looking for. I was looking for just have a conversation with the guy.
So why don't
and then
we
I got out of the car, and there's a bunch of cops, and I was like, ooh.
No. Well, what happened was.
Ooh, I was like, yeah.
No. We were inside, and one of the officers just indicated that he required further assistance because he didn't know what was happening. It wasn't actually the officer that you had observed. It was another officer.
No.
Because I think what they saw was they saw a vehicle stop there. They saw a vehicle inside our Sally Port, which is foreign.
Yeah,
we don't experience that. I've worked here 15 years, and it's very rare that we have someone enter our Sally Port and engage with an officer.
I just.
Okay, so let me do this. I'll speak with the sergeant and the officer. I don't know who was involved thus far, and what I'll do is I'll have a conversation with you and the officer and see if we can get to the bottom of this. Does that sound fair? Sure. And what's your first name again? I'm sorry.
Michael.
Colin. Just give me 1 second. So who was the officer that
I just got here.
So who was the officer that was involved in this situation? Assault? Who's that?
So we're muted.
Okay, no.
So it sounded like from what I got is, he was coming off 18. You know where nobody ever yields? Burnett. Yeah, come off 18.
Yeah, he was having a difficult time explaining
where you come off 18 and then there's that yield that nobody ever yields on. You know what I'm talking about?
If you're coming off 18 to go local, and then there's the Burnett Street that merges in, and you both come in. There was
so closer to. I got it.
They're coming off 27 Burnett, but then you get on 18.
Yeah.
So I'm coming down. The vehicle isn't. I realize it's not yielding. It wasn't going fast, but I realize it's not yielding. We get to the end where the double yellow ends, the yellow shoulder thing, and then I just kind of pat the air horn because they didn't yield at all. Then they slowed. I guess they stopped more abruptly. Moved to the right. I kept going, continued, signaled, changed lanes, turned on the Tabernacle, and then I got up to the stop sign. I stopped, and I realized this car was really close. Once I turned off of Tabernacle onto Nielsen, that car, I realized the truck didn't observe the stop at all. Peeled out, kept right on my ass. So then I pulled into the Sally. Once I realized he was following the Sally Port, I stopped here because I prepared myself to pop out as soon as the car was parked. Stopped right there, jumped out, and he was already getting out of the street.
Did he say, from what was explained to me, he's a firefighter with Brunswick. He doesn't want to file a complaint. That was never his goal. He just wants to have a conversation with you to better understand what happened during this situation with your company.
I'm assuming that the car in front of him slammed on the brakes.
Yeah. He's
thinking, not knowing that stops yields.
Yeah, so it looks to be some confusion. We've had situations like this in the past when citizens have contacted us regarding perceived issues with law enforcement, and we're able to explain to them why perhaps he used the flashlight in a particular manner during motor vehicle stop. It looks like that is what's happening here.
This video is talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't have all the information, so I didn't even know which officer was involved in this situation. So when did you realize that he was following?
When he peeled out at Tabernacle, turning on a Nielsen, I stopped at the stop sign. I realized this vehicle was very close. All right, we'll see. I turned on a Tabernacle. They are off the Tabernacle. He just continued right with me, peeling out. And then I was like, all right, well, maybe he's just going to pass me when I pull in at 7. And then he pulled in right behind me. So once I saw him pulling in behind me, I just prepared myself to jump out of the car so that the car stopped right there and got right out.
And what was the nature of your initial reaction?
He started screaming at me. What the F are you thinking? Who you drive like that? You almost caused an accident. I said, sir, I don't know what I'm talking about. And he just kept yelling. I'm just getting louder so I could speak over him. And he was just screaming the entire time. And then the other woman stopped and kept saying it's not worth it. I don't know what,
Yeah, I was hoping that
she didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, no, that's why I was hoping that we could speak with her. And there was no one else, that other vehicle behind her, anyone say anything? And I would imagine the young bar on the side of the vehicle wasn't out there.
No, I was just right.
Okay. Well, his goal right now is to have a conversation. So obviously, I want to obtain as much information as soon as possible. We'll document this to some extent. Obviously, you should write a report. And I don't know. I don't want to force you to. Say it again?
Do you guys hear?
No, just do me a favor. Just make sure he's comfortable. So was there anything?
You're 1 second.
Just 1 second. Was there anything that occurred between you and him on the road that would rise to the level of the criminal offense or anything of that nature?
I didn't even know he was behind me until we were at the stop sign. I didn't even know his vehicle existed on the roadway.
Okay. And where would this? I would imagine at some point some of this would have been captured on any cameras.
There are cameras here, and we're pulling in. But
okay. Yeah, he seems to have somewhat of a different perspective regarding what happened.
I don't even know where he was. I don't even know where his car was on the road.
No, I understand. Okay. I guess. Good. So obviously, you can say. Obviously, I'm aware of who the officer is that was involved. There are always two sides to every story.
Yeah.
Okay. He was able to provide, just given me working here and understanding the area, I do have a better picture of where this actually occurred.
Yeah.
So it appears that it was closer to where they're having difficulties in the past merging.
Yeah.
Right. So now that I know who the officer was that was involved,
yeah.
I want to obviously get more information from you, so we have obviously a full picture before I decide whether it's even appropriate for you guys to speak. Because you have to understand, from my point of view.
Listen, if you just want to let this all be done, then that's fine. I literally came into here to talk to him. He stopped, and then at that point I realized what was going on, and that's when I stopped. I just wanted to talk to him, and that was it.
Because what I want you to understand, and I think
I overstepped my bounds.
Yeah. Well, I'm
not going to say that I didn't. Okay. But I just wanted to talk to him.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, I just want to go home.
Yeah. Well, this is what I was trying to explain to you. Obviously, I don't know if you've dealt with this previously, but I think you understand that we're a very professional police department.
Yeah.
We're nationally accredited.
Yeah.
So we handle everything in accordance with policy and procedure law. And as you can tell, even with the officer you dealt with, we hold ourselves to a higher standard, and we also consider ourselves reasonable. That's why before I provided you with a recommended course of action, I wanted to make certain that I had all available information. Okay. I didn't want to accuse you of anything. Again, overstepping your bounds. I appreciate you acknowledging that.
Yeah.
And initially you told us that obviously you didn't expect there to be the fanfare
No.
that I encountered
This is
when
not.
exiting
This
the
is.
building.
This is not what I.
And
I'm
that's-
sorry.
and that's
I
part
am
of-
sorry that I ruined. I did not try to do this.
Yeah, and that's part of the, and that was part of the problem. That's again why I wanted to obtain as many particulars as possible, and also help you understand that entering this location behind a law enforcement officer, absent them knowing what's going on, is going to create heightened caution.
And I apologize.
And that's why he quickly exited the vehicle and probably approached you or took the stance he did.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Especially working in the field.
Yeah. And I realized it immediately. I did, and I apologize.
120 from Central.
Now, where were you coming from when you initially encountered the officer?
Union meeting. We had a union meeting tonight.
Whereabouts?
Sarge, when you get a chance, can you call into dispatch, please?
The other problem we have
Yes, sir.
is that in speaking with you, okay, it's clear to me, someone who's
Is it urgent?
for 15 years, someone who was previously a drug recognition expert, someone who
Negative. It's in
investigated
regard
matters
to the
involving
incident at the
intoxicating
Sally
liquors
Port,
that you've consumed alcohol.
but not urgent.
I had 2 beers tonight.
That much is clear.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
So you understand that the attention that I paid to this situation before that was obvious to me,
Yeah.
or before I had a full picture, is the same attention I have to direct
Yes.
to this particular matter.
Yeah, I understand.
I respect the fact that you're a fireman and that at times we work hand in hand, but I think you understand that I've got to handle this like I would any other situation involving another citizen.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak with the sergeant. These 2 officers are going to just ask you some questions regarding where you were, confirm how many obviously beverages in fact you had, and then hopefully we can seek a resolution to that particular situation and then determine whether you're in a condition to operate.
All right, thank you.
Okay? You don't have to.
Yeah,
You're on mute. Again, here we can be transparent. Okay. I'll wait to share this one. He's on a separate call. Obviously, under the circumstances, now that I have a full picture of what happened, it's not appropriate for you guys to have a conversation. He acknowledged to me that he, with the benefit of hindsight and further evaluation, overstepped his bounds. Also, while speaking with him, he displayed physical indicators consistent with impairment. He acknowledged to me that he consumed, at minimum, 2 beers, 2 beverages of that ilk, and that he was coming from a union meeting held at an location. So I have both B and Azaro conducting an investigation. He was explaining everything to include my observations and the fact that we're going to handle this like we would any other situation involving another citizen. So you don't have to have any other involvement aside from documenting what happened to you on the road, what you observed, and then any observations you made when room for him too. So what I would do is, which one's your vehicle's parked, right?
My car.
Yeah. So when we conduct this, just go inside. Not to have any further involvement until it's necessary.
Doesn't wish to address.
Okay. So, do you have any other, that other issue set, do you have any other questions regarding what occurred previously?
No.
No? Okay. Do you understand why?
Yeah, I understand what just happened. And I understand what you guys are doing. And I understand what I did wrong. And I just really just want to go home at this point because obviously I was out of bounds by coming in here. I realized what I did. I just was really mad and angry, and I'm not going to deny that. And I came in here because I wanted to talk to him and be like, why did you do that? And then once he walked out and the way he stepped out, I saw that and I was like, all right, I just overstepped my bounds. That's it. There's nothing more to it.
There's a little bit more to it, and I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to paint the same picture over and over again. The initial allegation, obviously, we take very seriously. The idea that my officer perhaps operated his vehicle in an erratic fashion or did anything that would place your safety in question. That was a concern initially. So obviously, that's why we asked so many questions. That's why I had to speak with you initially. That's why I've traveled back and forth to gather information.
I understand.
Now, these officers weren't there for the initial conversation. So what I want to do here is I want to gather as much information as appropriate, handle this investigation. Again,
Can you just tell me what's happening right now? Is it more than what I want it to be? Is it more than?
No, I can honestly tell you, and I believe in transparency. No decision has been made as of right now regarding anything.
Because I feel like I'm being set up for something.
No. Well, the one thing he can tell you regarding me is that I'm honest. Okay. I'm telling you right now, I don't make any promises anyway. I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, they asked you to perform synodial field sobriety tests. It is your right to refuse that.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, when those tests are put in place to provide individuals like yourself with an opportunity to prove to officers, and myself included, that our initial suspicions or observations are inaccurate.
Yeah, I understand.
You have a right to refuse that, and you did. This is two-pronged in that I want to make sure that before we make a decision regarding what's going to happen, or before we leave this situation, regardless of our observations, that I have a full picture, because regardless, there is going to be individuals above my rank, and perhaps IAB, that are going to want to have information regarding the officer's actions as you initially observed. You understand?
Yeah.
So,
just so you know, I did not want all of this.
No, we understand that.
This is not what I was looking for. I just wanted to have a conversation with the guy.
Yeah.
I did not ask for this, and I apologize that I bother you guys, but this is way more than you guys needed to do right now.
Yeah. No, and what I can say is, and not many people in situations such as these would acknowledge your fault. And I respect that. The fact that you told me that you thought you overstepped your bounds, because I take this seriously. When I went to speak with my officer, I had no preconceived notion that he was innocent. I wanted to gather information from him, from you, and determine if anything inappropriate happened. What he was telling me, and you forgive me if I'm mistaken, is that the area where you guys had your initial interaction was one that people have had problems with in the past. It's a merge location.
You know where it is. It's right where you turn right off of 27 and you go towards the service road towards 18.
Yeah.
It's that road. And the car in front of me just never stopped.
He wasn't the car in front of you.
No. He was coming off 18. And the car in front of me never stopped. And then they went and they never broke. And there was no brake lights. And then I was going and then he was coming and we almost just smashed into each other. And there's a good possibility that the car in front of me did not see him coming. That's a very high probability. But I was mad because I have a brand new truck and I almost got smashed into, and it infuriated me. So I followed him here because I wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, and the way you explained it to me initially was that, and now, it seemed like the real problem was with the other vehicle, and not
Oh,
necessarily
I don't
him?
know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yes, probably. The car in front of me never broke. There was no brake lights.
Okay.
They never stopped.
And
they were in front of me in the car, in the police car. The Rutgers cop was in front of me, so he got in between us.
Okay, gotcha. So when you were traveling, the other vehicle was here, police car here, and what happened was that car went forward, and this is kind of how
The car in front of me went forward, never broke,
and the officer
and then
went.
he came in between us, and it was close.
And the officer went between the two vehicles.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So and I had to slam on my brakes, and it made me angry, and I wrongly followed him here, and I just all I wanted to do was talk to him and be like, what the hell are you doing?
And then,
Like, what rush are you in? Because when I followed him, I did follow him, and he was flying, like, whatever. And I just wanted to talk to him. And obviously that didn't happen because you guys are all here. So that's it.
So, and you understood, and I think your initial concern was that there were a number of officers who were present for what happened. And I think in hindsight, or with the benefit of hindsight, you understand that when an officer who wasn't involved, Officer Goldsby arrives and sees that there's a vehicle in our Sally Port, which, if you look, it has signs. So what typically wouldn't happen is we wouldn't find someone here who's not affiliated or associated with the university, and also we normally wouldn't find someone here following or looking to have an interaction. Oftentimes it's not someone.
I'm going to tell you right now. I know I'm wrong.
Okay.
I know what I did was wrong. I shouldn't have followed him here. I know it. That was me taking.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I respect, and again, I'm not going to try and convince you otherwise. You have the right to refuse those tests. That there is obviously there's a reason that these laws exist.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were you going when the officer and you nearly collided? We just, again, this is just for recording purposes.
Yeah, I don't.
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And what time is it now?
10-11.
10:11. So you were there for 3 hours. So, do you think, so if you had to rate or gauge your level of intoxication at this point on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say it is?
A 1 or 2.
A 1 or 2?
Yeah.
Okay, you can understand how anyone in this situation, officer in this situation, who is speaking to someone who followed.
Yeah, no. I followed right into here. If I was a cop and I had a person follow me into here, I would not listen. I'm not happy about what I just did. I just was angry. I'm not gonna lie. I fucked up. I was angry, and I recognized what I did, and I would apologize to him if he was here. He's obviously not. So.
That was, again, before there were other factors in play.
Yeah.
Before I had all the information, it was a possibility or altogether possible that we would, or I would facilitate a conversation between you and the officer, but I think you would agree that given the intervening circumstances, your acknowledgement that what happened was probably either misunderstood or misinterpreted and that you were wrong in entering here,
Agreed.
It probably wasn't appropriate to have that conversation in the moment.
Agreed.
When you look at this objectively, like when you look at this from a third-party view, an individual who was consuming alcohol, who then left and followed an officer into this facility to confront him, and then acknowledging he did wrong and not performing tests, what would you think an officer in my or in our situation would believe that alcohol influenced what happened here.
I don't know what to think with that. I don't.
Is
have
it
an answer.
possible? And these were just 2 beers you had, or did you have 2 mixed drinks?
I had 2 beers.
2 beers.
Yeah.
Because what we need here, and I say this to everyone, not yourself. This is not foreign, and Officer Bosby has obviously been party to investigations of this nature in the past. When we ask questions regarding individuals' consumption of alcohol, the most common answer we always receive is 2 beers. I mean, it's just common.
Unfortunately, I like beer.
Right? You know,
I don't know what to tell you guys. That's what I drink.
Yeah.
And I have 2 daughters, and I don't drink too much, so I had 2 beers, and that was it.
Okay.
So it doesn't take much from me. I'm a big guy, but still, I take 2 beers, and that's all I need.
Okay. And is there anything else that you think that's important to share with us regarding the situation or your interaction with the officer, both here or otherwise?
No, that was it. The only interaction I had with them was that when I merged and then I followed him, and I literally just followed him into here. And I followed him when I turned into here, and he slammed on the brakes, I slammed on the brakes, and then he got out of the car, and the way he got out of the car, I stopped and I realized what was going on, and I was like, all right, well, this is not going to go the way I wanted it to go.
All right, let's walk back to the car and we'll continue. And is there anything the officer said to you that is important to note?
No, he did not say anything to me.
Okay. So you would categorize his reaction to you as reasonable under the circumstances? There was no physical...
I had no communication with him at all.
Okay.
That I know of.
Okay. Any questions? No? Okay. And the individual who was in that white vehicle, the white vehicle that had stopped, was that the person who was the other party involved? That was just a bystander?
What are you talking about?
There's a white vehicle here that was occupied by one female driver who was interacting with...
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
No? Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay. And,
what are you talking about? I'm sorry. What are we talking about?
there was a white vehicle here. So when I exited, and I know it's a frantic situation, when I exited, and
No, that has nothing to do with it.
nothing to do with it?
No.
Because she was talking to...
No, there's no other person. I have no, it's just me. I don't know what you... Yeah.
how long have you worked with New Brunswick Fire?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you?
38.
38?
Yeah.
Okay. And your intent, not to repeat my word, your intent here initially was just to speak with the officer.
That's it.
In hindsight, if you think...
I just wanted to talk to him about what the hell was going on, man. I just want to know why he was cutting us off. Like, I was angry, and it was definitely like a road rage type thing, and I was not happy about what he just did. He almost smashed into me, and I was not happy.
Okay. Had you been involved in situations like this in the past?
No.
No? So what do you think influenced your judgment in this particular case?
I don't know. Probably the brand new truck.
Brand new truck?
Probably don't touch my truck.
And your truck wasn't contacted?
No.
Okay.
It was, I slammed on it.
Okay. And you just slammed it? Okay. It is really brand new.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Yeah, we were literally having a conversation about it.
Okay. I just gotta, just give me 1 second. I'll speak to Sergeant and we'll be right back with you. Your family knows that you don't need to contact your family. Like right now, I just need a few more minutes with the Sergeant and then we'll...
Family for what?
No, I'm giving you a chance. Your family's not expecting you. Like you didn't call them on the phone. They weren't.
My wife,
expecting you
my wife, no, my wife, I would have to call her to tell her where I am.
No, that was
She knows I'm at the...
Okay. No, but the only reason I was asking is you've been here for 35 minutes.
No, yeah,
I'm trying
I
to pay you a courtesy. That was
No,
okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else? Because I'm going to go speak with the other officer because there was a possibility that I had to bring him back out here to speak with you. We're not going to do that under the circumstances. If again, we always want to maintain a positive relationship with anyone, citizens, particular, other organizations.
I understand. Listen, you guys have been awesome. Everywhere we go, everything we show up to, you guys are awesome. And I wasn't trying to do anything to besmirch you guys, or like do anything like that. That's not what this was. All right, that's not what was going on. It was literally my truck almost got slammed into. I was not happy, and I just wanted to talk to the guy man to man. It obviously is more than that, and I was not trying to do that. Yeah. And I'm going through the process right now with you.
No, you've been cooperative, and that's why. And I was honest with you.
Yeah, and I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm just letting you know. I almost got smashed into, and I was not happy, and I'm being really cool about it. I'll let it go. It's all done. It is what it is. All I want to do is talk to you. That's it.
Obviously,
it's done. It's like in my world, but that's me. I'm not in charge. You guys are in charge.
No. And again, I can tell you right now, you made this easy on us, and we appreciate the cooperation, because when I first entered the Sallyport area and I saw this female screaming and you engaged in the conversation.
I don't know what female you're talking about.
When you engaged in the conversation with Sergeant, I didn't think it would be this cooperative. Now you understand, we were honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay? For us, we respect individuals who work in all professions. We respect individuals we work with in law enforcement, fire, and I think you understand that we had to handle this like we went into the system. Okay, and we're still obviously going through our investigation. And I conduct thorough investigations, as does Officer Goldsby, and this is a newer officer who we're cultivating. So the reason we have you here and the reason we're asking these questions is because I don't want anyone thinking that we would treat you differently than we would anyone else.
Understood.
And I don't want there to be any misunderstandings. Also, if my officer did something inappropriate, that's something that I am obligated to address. So that's why I'm asking you all these questions.
Yeah.
That's why I'm engaging you in further dialogue. I'm going to go speak with them, make sure they understand that I'm not going to have him come out now. If you want to speak with him on a different day, we can arrange that. But given the circumstances, it's not appropriate right now.
It's all good.
So just give me a few minutes.
Yeah.
I'll be right back with you.
Yeah, I know.
So and this is another reason why we continue investigating to this extent. We actually had someone call in who witnessed what happened. It was the person who we were referring to before.
Okay.
So we have more information.
Okay.
Have the sergeant stay with you. I have to relay the information to these officers, and then we should be close to a resolution in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll be muting to engage in a private conversation with Officer Goldsby regarding tactics moving forward.
Guys.
I'm going to explain to you exactly what the situation is. Okay?
Oh, man.
We can only go based on the information available to us. I'm going to explain to you. Just listen to me.
Are you kidding me right now?
Listen to me. Okay? We've been polite and courteous with you the entire time.
And so have I.
And I'm going to explain everything. What we have here is and I'm again putting aside what you do. We have a citizen. And listen to me. Okay, I'm going to explain everything.
Come on, guys.
Listen.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay. We have a listen. I'm going to
120, go ahead.
I'm going to
I'm
explain the
literally
situation.
right here with you guys. I'm literally.
450.
Listen. I'm going to explain everything.
Come on, man.
You have to give me a chance to talk.
You're going to jeopardize my job right now by doing this.
I'm left with no other option.
1 under
Understand that?
2235.
Let me talk.
Why can't you
What's
just
the
drive me
location?
home and that's
I'm
it?
going to explain the situation. Okay? I told you before.
Sallyport.
It doesn't matter whether you're a fireman,
Appreciate one on
whether
there
you're
at
a
the
citizen,
Sallyport.
or whether it's one of my officers. I have to treat the situation like I would any other. Okay, and I'm explaining everything. What I have here is you operating your vehicle in a manner that is both reckless and concerning. We have a third party who witnessed this, who corroborates the officer's account. That
Can't you just drive me home and then just be the end of this?
Listen to me, and then we'll talk more. Okay? I want to make sure you understand this, and that everybody who views this recording understands this. Okay? So we have that individual. We have you yourself acknowledging.
dude,
we have you yourself acknowledging in hindsight.
Come on, man.
You gonna let me talk, or do an end here? I'm trying to explain this to you so that everybody understands why the decision was made and what's going to happen moving forward. The arrest has been made. We're not going to treat you any differently than we did before. We're left with no other option. Like I told you, all the information we have from the officer was corroborated by a third party. You yourself told me that with the benefit of hindsight, that you made a mistake, that you followed the officer here, that you regret it, that you wish you didn't do it. These are all things that you shared with us. Those are all indications of behavior that is not consistent with a sober nature. You also acknowledge consuming alcohol beverages. You're exhibiting or displaying physical impediments consistent with impairment, bloodshot, glassy eyes, slow speech, inability to recall information, not understanding whether your vehicle's on or off, unsteady gait when you walked, and you refuse to perform tests. What option are we left with? I have no choice but to make an arrest based on the information available to us. We have probable cause. Those tests are put in place to give the person in your situation an opportunity to prove that our initial observations and the evidence we obtained from our discussion and our investigation are untrue. That wasn't the case. Okay? I respect what you do, but I can't operate or treat you any differently than I would my own sergeant in this situation or a normal citizen. That's it. I don't want to be in this situation. I have no choice. That's the information that was available to us. We have probable cause to believe you operated your vehicle while impaired. There's also other things that are concerning where you entered here, you followed an officer. Those are just 2C implications. Like, those are things that could result in charges. I'm not saying that's the case, but those are other things that we have to consider. I don't want to be here. This is not a very enjoyable moment for me. Okay? So let's get through it. I'm not going to change my demeanor. I'm going to treat you like I would anyone else, with respect, admiration, and empathy. Okay? Any questions you have, I'll answer. Let's move forward from there. Okay? We'll get you inside. We have to search your vehicle for intoxicants, and then we'll move forward from there. Okay? I have no choice. You understand? I have no choice. Okay? So you can well, we'll have him search the. You can take him inside. We'll monitor him.
Use one.
120 from 6-3. Central 65, open Sally Port, please.
No, hold on.
Courtesy.
And do you know what you're doing in this situation?
Yeah, so I'm going to call out timestamp getting a PC search for intoxicants.
Okay.
What else you Central? 102 bad. Timestamp, search for intoxicants. First, you're searching vehicle 2240.
You're using to discuss the situation with Officer Sanowski, more particularly the performance of the alcoholist in the scene. Can you guys sit with the vehicle? Have a tow? Yeah. Whichever. Okay, I'll follow you. You did here?
Yeah.
Okay, so go on the other side. I'll follow you up.
Is that yours, that's it?
Yeah. What's that?
Bag.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Anything that could reasonably have items that would suggest intoxication or contraband. Thank you. Nothing in the Yeti, right? Yeah, it smells it really good.
Smells like what? Good? Yeah, vodka.
Where's that?
Smell like something?
Bring it inside. Just bring it inside. It's like a better. And we don't have air blowing in either direction.
It's the RO. RO, the car.
It could be.
Okay.
I have to change the thing. Can you monitor?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to be transferring care. If you will be recruited to that maybe tactical as well as
Use your phone back. You're gonna need to call somebody to come pick you up. Just whoever you can call and just have them come out here. I will pick you upstairs, okay? No problem. You know the address?
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Because literally
We can
what
start
we do
right
is
now.
we have to run through a couple pieces of paperwork, which is going to take like 10 minutes, and then you're pretty much good to go.
Okay.
So if you want to call someone, because I also can't let you just hang out with your phone.
But I can leave once you release me.
No.
What, you have to be released into the custody of someone.
Yeah.
Whoever you are calling, they're taking custody, or they're taking responsibility for you and ensuring that you can't drive. That's the reason why we can't just let you walk. You know the address?
55 Robeson Boulevard.
Robeson. You got back in here with you?
I think so. Well, we're able to release you in 10 to 15 minutes into someone's custody, not on your own license. Alright.
Take the potential liability form. Oh, back. Give it to me. I'm up to the rest of that packet.
Okay. In here now.
Oh, what's that?
Okay.
Have you looked through that packet before?
I did, yeah. I'm not sure what the actual this is.
Hold that. All right. So we're going to review your rights. These are your Miranda rights. You've seen on TV. We're just going to ask you a couple questions after that. Yeah. So pay attention. Verbally acknowledge if you do or do not understand. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have that lawyer present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you prior to any questioning if you wish, and you can choose at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions or making statements. You understand?
I do.
Okay. With those rights in mind, do you wish to speak with us?
Yes.
Okay. Always sign that at the end. These aren't like incriminating questions in any way. We just have to read them off to you. Give me this one.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, sir, are you here to...
Pick up Michael?
Yes.
Yeah, he's inside.
You are here to pick up Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm Colin.
How you doing?
Pleasure
You
to
said
meet
Colin?
Yeah, Colin.
Colin,
I'm the lieutenant here. I came just to speak with you, answer any questions you have. They're just finishing up a final document,
Right.
and he should be here within 5 minutes. They're going to explain the potential liability warning form,
Right.
and they'll have you sign where appropriate.
Right.
I just didn't want you to think that we were avoiding you, and I thought it appropriate, given your position, to come and talk to you first
Oh,
to
yeah,
see if
no.
any questions you have.
Appreciate it. I was looking for the doorbell. You got rid of the doorbell?
We've advanced. It's not like Fort Knox.
Right.
It was never that way, but COVID sure changed everything.
Appreciate it.
Not a phone at all.
You got it.
Thanks. Yeah, and if, like I said, if you don't have any questions, I just want to explain the process, and I'm going to have the officer and his recruit respond here in 5 or so minutes. They'll explain everything and have you sign. Okay?
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. Get a good rest of your night. Yes, the chief is going to be securing the arrestee. We'll be explaining the John's Law potential liability warning form, and we'll sign where appropriate. I'm going to be deactivating and relaying the same information to the officers. Hey, so I went upstairs and spoke with the party who is picking you up. I'm not sure if that was the chief or deputy chief. I hadn't met him previously. I didn't share any information. He was very nice. I told him that you'd be released in the next 5 minutes once they're finished completing that
They
paperwork.
said they were waiting on him.
They are, but they're just, as you can see,
we're waiting on him then? Who are we waiting on? Them or them?
well, both. We were waiting on the chief initially. They had to complete a second document. They're having some difficulty with the affidavit probable cause. So if they told you differently, then it was just misrelayed.
Blowing smoke in my eyes.
No, they're not blowing smoke. Listen, we haven't. This is a regrettable situation. We don't want to be here. And again, I think we've had a nice discourse. You haven't been rude with me. I haven't been rude with you. This is the last situation that I wanted to be placed in, and these guys as well. We're not holding you here longer than we have to. If I'm being completely honest, the officer who's completing the paperwork, he's a recruit. This is his.
I know it's his first
It's his 13th day on the job.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I'm well aware.
Yeah,
I've watched it. I'm in the front row. I've watched it.
Yeah, so if I was doing this, or if one of the officers were doing this, again, you'd be out this moment. We were truthfully waiting for the chief. He did just arrive 2 minutes prior. I went upstairs, shook his hand, spoke with him, told him to wait. What I want to tell you is that initially you expressed a desire at some point to have a nice conversation with the officer, when you so kindly acknowledge fault and regret. He's not unwilling to speak with you. If in the future you want to talk with any of us, or you want to speak with him, that would have to be arranged obviously outside here. I didn't want you to think that I was dismissive of your want.
I'm good. I don't need to talk to you guys.
Okay.
Good.
All right. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. I'm here for the remainder of the night. Okay. Going to be ending recording. As indicated previously on scene, the party provided information initially that was inaccurate. He confirmed that he misrepresented the situation or misunderstood the situation, and ultimately acknowledged fault for the actions which can be observed upon review of all body-worn cameras and the associated reports. He indicated on scene that he did not wish to file a complaint, that he only wished to speak with the officer. Under the circumstances, it was inappropriate to have the officer speak with him, given our observations regarding his condition. I just spoke with him again and there to confirm, saying he doesn't want to speak with us, he didn't want to file a complaint, and he was told that if he does want to speak with myself or Officer Calamano in the future, arrangements could be made after the fact. Obviously, it'd be inappropriate to do it now. I'm going to be ending recording, and my association with this case will end now. Report the file.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Sorry for the delay.
That's all right. What's up, boss? How you doing?
How you doing? Real quick, do you have a driver's license on you? Perfect. I gotta make a copy of it real quick. This officer's gonna explain to you the John's Law.
Yep.
Yep. Can you make a copy of that and just attach them in the report, Ron?
You want both sides or just one?
Just one. Just the front. He's got to find someone else to give him a ride. Yeah.
What happened? I just saw the mouse. Oh, he came over and
While you were gone?
I heard.
They were having parties.
I heard. I think it was all.
My bad, this scan was coming through terrible.
Alright. Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go.
Send you back up to the Fill it up.
All right, help you right
any pictures here, we'll give you a property back and then we're out the door. Alright?
Sure.
01608. Is that correct?
16. No, I don't think it's 08.
You wrote an 08 on that.
That is 08.
This one.
I'm coughing. What's your after me?
Just come stand over here. You can put your hat down on this table.
Hat?
Yeah.
This table?
Just hold this up on your chin. It's just your name, our case number, and the date. Cool. Take it from. Another one, just look at the camera for me. Turn your head to the left, like looking over your shoulder. And to the right. Good, you throw your hat back on. Get his property out of the pocket too. Your car keys are with your truck. I took your house keys off.
You did?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. This I did not want to have to wake up my wife right now.
No. Give the man his stuff back. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
I knew you were grabbing stuff. I would have told you to grab my cigarettes for me.
Just hang on up to the right for me.
That's my fault.
Right now. So,
Tickets.
here's all of them.
Holy fuck.
So the initial officer wrote you tickets for the driving. We have separate tickets to go with the DUI. That's careless driving, reckless driving, and the DUI. Those three always go together.
Yeah.
Right. The other one was the improper parking, careless driving for the way that you were following the officer. I believe there's also a reckless in there.
So how many tickets is that?
7.
Fucking Christ.
They get condensed when you go to court. They get condensed. This is a complaint summons. It's for the being in the Sally Port, the trespassing.
It's what?
For being in our Sally Port, our garage.
Yeah.
That's marked no trespassing.
Yeah.
So it's complaint summons for trespassing.
So there's 7 tickets and that.
Yes. So, can you go with us?
Awesome. And you guys are going to be there, you can be there, who's going to be there?
Not the initial hearing. The initial hearing is to go over everything. That's when you give your initial plea, and that's when you start to set up any sort of proceeding. Any questions for us?
Thank you.
Dr. Noah. All right. Have a good night.